and I'd say a beautiful afternoon here in the Tri-State area. It is time for another episode of the J&B podcast. Alongside our good friend, welcome Keith Hernandez to the show. How you doing, Keith?
Very good. Pleasant good afternoon to you, even though my partner always says that, Brandon.
Oh yes. Well, Keith, it's good to see you, man. I love the Alpha, man.
Thank you. I have a very special guest.
Congratulations on your retirement yesterday.
Thank you. I have a very special guest with me. It's me in bobblehead form.
I love it. All right, John. Well, welcome to the show, man. How you doing today, man? It's good to see you.
Good, Brandon. How are you today?
I'm doing outstanding. It's a beautiful weekend here in the Tri-State area. We got a lot of sports on our hand. But I want to start with the locals, the Yankees. We're going to start with the baseball, the Yankees and the Mets. So the Mets are looking good. They're looking good.
Yes, they are in process with the Marlins.
Everybody thought that they would fall apart by now and, collapse in the division, but they really haven't. They've stayed consistent most of the season. Buck has done a great job with this team, and the Mets have just have kept the division lead, a couple of games and a half of, I believe, the Atlanta Braves.
Yes, sir.
So it's that the NL East is a very tight race right now. And on the other hand, the Yankees are just blowing away this division like crazy. I mean, they look out. They just 15 games ahead of Boston in first place. It's just outstanding what they're doing. They're dominating these teams. I mean, listen, they should have won last night. If Donaldson didn't bobble that ball, they would have won the game. So we'll see what happens. And now it's the time where the Yankees and the Mets are going to meet soon for a Subway Series, John.
Yes, they are.
We are very close to the Subway Series.
Yes, you have to look out, though. The Baltimore Orioles have been red hot.
The Orioles have been red hot, and the Orioles have showed you that they could compete this year. Haven't they surprised you?
Yep, they just swept the Angels.
Yeah, and the Angels have just somewhat gone downhill a lot.
I don't know. Did Ohtani pitch in that series?
I didn't follow it, but all I could say is the Orioles are on a good path to maybe being a good team in the next few years. I mean, if you look at the Orioles are not even close to being I mean, they're only the wild card. They're only 2.5 games out.
Yep. Well, they did not face Ohtani in that series.
Right. But this team has been interesting the whole season, and maybe the left field wall helps.
Yes.
Maybe the left field wall helps to their benefit.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Yankees Mets, Citi Field. Going to expect to be a sold out crowd.
You got Max against Cole.
Now that's going to be the best matchup of the summer by far.
Or DeGrom.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be fun, man. Get the popcorn ready.
Yep.
But yeah, it's July 26th, the Subway Series starts. Only a 2-game set at Citi Field. And then I believe the Yankees and Mets play at Yankee Stadium. I believe it starts August 22nd, I believe.
I'll look right now. 26th and 27th in Queens. 22nd and 23rd in the Bronx.
Right. So 2-game sets. I mean, that's good to have good to have a 2-game set. It doesn't take away too much. It gives it a little show here and there. But now it's a time where the Yankees could actually start resting players. And I think after the Subway Series, the Yankees keep this division lead. I think they could start resting guys on their bench. I think they could start giving people a rest for the postseason.
Very interesting idea.
But the Mets, on the other hand, shouldn't rest because they're only 2.5 games. And they got a lot. They want to build up that division lead because the Atlanta Braves could easily take over this division.
Yep, they have a very big series starting tomorrow night in Atlanta. And the starting pitcher's pretty good. Max Scherzer against Max Fried.
That's a good matchup.
Yep. Well, since our last show, Brandon, we have had seen some interesting things the last couple of weeks, haven't we?
Oh yes, oh yes.
What was the last time we did one after we started the combined no-hitter?
The last time we did a show was, I believe, it was with our good friends, with our guest.
Yes, Douglas and Ian.
Yeah, which was a good show. Hopefully, we'll have them on the show again soon.
Yep, and
It was a
Andrew.
good And Andrew, I mean, if only the technical difficulties weren't a problem. You know, next time hopefully we could settle it out a little better.
Yep.
But I had a good time. That was a good show we had. The ratings looked great for that show. A lot of people watched it.
That's good.
I'm getting feedback that people want us to bring more guests on the show. The fans want more guests on the show. They want to hear more voices, and I agree. I think having more fans on the show is going to be a good thing in terms of views from other, for sports. I think people want to hear every perspective out there. So I hope to have some more guests. Let's hope we have some more guests on in the future.
Don't forget our next show. We will probably have my good friend Daniel Domicolo appear to start a new segment about sports betting.
That's good. That's going to be a good segment. That's going to be a good segment as sports betting has taken over our country.
Yep. Shout out to our future guests, Kevin Bach and Kevin Miller.
Thank you, Keith.
They seem very interested in coming on.
Keith Hernandez, I love you, man.
It was a great day yesterday, especially how the Mets came back against Tanner Scott.
Yeah, and I hope you had a good time at the game yesterday, man.
I did. Here's a little trivia for you that you hear almost every week on this show. When was the last time before yesterday that the Mets won with 2 outs and extra innings on a walk-off error?
1969.
Nope. The ball that famously went through Bill Buckner's legs.
Oh, 1986.
Yep.
All right.
That they won with 2 out and extra innings on an error.
Good.
I think I would have had that play that Aguilar did not catch.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've seen a lot of errors this year by a lot of players.
Yeah. The thing is, Aguilar is not a first baseman, really.
He's not. He's not.
He's more a DH player.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got some good baseball, man. We got some fun games around the New York City area, right?
Yes, sir. And you know what's coming up in about an hour?
The Knicks.
Nope. You get the All-Star rosters announced.
Oh, the Knicks are in 25 minutes. Oh, the All-Star rosters are announced. So we know that Judge is going to be in the All-Star game. We know that Stanton's going to be in the All-Star game. Do we have any word on Trevino?
No idea, but he probably has a strong case to be the backup.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool to see Trevino in the All-Star game. And for the Mets, obviously we know that Scherzer is gonna probably go to the All-Star game. Obviously,
you'll probably get Pete Alonso.
What about Lindor?
Maybe you're probably gonna see Edwin Diaz there.
That's smart.
Maybe McNeil, especially with Albies and Chisholm injured. I mean, you have I think they said third highest batting average in the National League in McNeil. I think he should be there. What do you think?
I like McNeil. I think he's a very good player. I thought he was always going to be a fundamental aspect to that team. I always thought he was going to bring a lot in terms of helping other players around him develop, and he clearly is doing that. So I'm glad for him.
He was almost traded for Diaz and Cano all those off seasons ago.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the Mets have just done a great job in terms of their moves. I mean, you got a billionaire owner who goes out there and just goes down the expensive aisle and gets the best play and gets the best of the best.
Yep, when your friend was there yesterday, one Mr. Alex Rodriguez.
An A-bomb from A-Rod.
He was sitting behind home plate.
Yeah. Who was he with? I didn't see.
I don't even know.
But look, crap. I mean, look. Obviously, Keith Hernandez meant a lot to the Mets franchise.
Yep.
Obviously, it was going to be looked like a sold out crowd yesterday, which probably meant a lot to him.
Yep, they flew his entire family in.
Yeah, and I saw him have emotions while he was speaking on the field. And listen, he's a good guy, and he had a hell of a career.
Yep.
And have you seen the new doc? I'm hearing talks now that there's a new documentary about Keith Hernandez out. Have you seen it?
I did not. It was on SNY, I believe, the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Called I Am Keith Hernandez or something?
Okay, yeah, I think that's what it's called.
They showed a little segment of it during the game yesterday.
That's good. Well, it's funny. So, I'm going to be home for about a week or so, recovering. So, I'm going to be watching some sports documentaries and stuff. There's a lot of good sports documentaries out there. I haven't seen the movie Rudy. I haven't seen Rudy. Have you seen Rudy?
Only bits and parts of it, not the full thing.
I've never seen. I want to see. I got to see it. Everybody's talking how good it is. I know it's a classic American film. Got to see it. It's a must. And you have Notre Dame ties.
Yes, I do.
So it's a perfect movie for you. Yeah, man. But I'm excited for a couple of weeks, man. It's gonna be awesome. Subway Series in the Citi Field, it's gonna be nuts.
Yep.
And in the Yankee Stadium in August, and then before you know it, Johnny boy, we have the Fall Classic.
Yep, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
And right now, the Yankees are projected to win the World Series, and hopefully they win it this year because we've always said they were going to win the World Series, and then look, they lost to the Astros.
Well, we know what happened to the favorites. What happened to the Brooklyn Nets?
I've noticed the favorites have always lost. They never are winning. They can't win.
Yep.
But and I told you, if the Yankees don't win the if they don't get to the World Series this year, it's going to be a major bust, and it's going to be disappointing to everybody. It's going to change a lot of things next year. So it's important that the Yankees try to get to the World Series this year.
It's crazy. The Mets have been more recently than they were.
Yeah, 2015? Is 2016?
15. They should have won that series.
Yeah, and you're playing Kansas City, who was pretty good at that time.
But think about it. They had a lead late in 3 of those games that they lost. But of course, Daniel Murphy forgets how to field the ground ball. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was a good team. I mean, that was a competitive team, but I think this team is better. I think this team has got more grit. I think this team has got more power. I think this team has got more tenacity, more competitiveness. So I like this team. I think and I like the utility guys they have who are, not the sluggers, but the guys who are giving you daily hits like Dom Smith, McNeil,
Guillorme.
Luis Guillorme.
Best walk-up song on the team, I think.
Yeah. But, dude, fun year, man.
It has been.
Nice. It's always good to see you, Keith. I can't believe I have a celebrity on the show right now.
Yes.
The one and only Keith Hernandez is on the JMV podcast right now.
Yes. And the Metsies just lost 2-0.
Oh, to the Marlins.
Yep.
Hey, listen, the Marlins are not bad this year. They're actually they're decent.
Had a nice little pitcher duel today between Taijuan Walker and Sandy Alcantara.
Mm-hmm.
The most likely starter for the National League in the All-Star game.
Yeah. But the All-Star game is going to be fun, man. Got a home run derby. We don't know who the participants in the home run derby are going to be yet.
No one has committed to it, but I would like to see Pete Alonso go for his 3rd straight title.
That would be cool. Home run derby is always fun, but you got to be careful with the home run derby because sometimes that take the swing that could ruin the swing a little bit when you go return to games.
Yep.
But
Very interesting time of year, though.
yeah, and then we got the red carpet show, and then the All-Star game, which is going to be fun.
And then you have the deadline coming up in a few weeks.
Trade deadline in a few weeks. Now, there's talk. I don't know if you heard the rumors, but there's been talk about Boston trading Chris Sale. Have you heard about those rumors?
Did not, but you see his epic temper tantrum the other night?
I did not.
He destroyed part of the Blue Sox dugout area going down toward the clubhouse.
For tantrum for what? He hasn't even played yet.
He had a bad rehab start.
Oh, well, if it was a real game, I would have said yeah. But
I believe he is coming back on Tuesday.
he's coming back against the Rays on Tuesday, I believe.
Yep, that'll be his first pitching appearance since that tantrum.
Yes. Now, John, you're going to Boston. You're going to Yankee Stadium to see Boston on Saturday, right?
On Friday with the Monmouth County Chiefs of Police.
Oh, dude, have a great time at the rivalry. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you. The matchup is set for Tuesday. Chris Sale will return.
Yeah, nasty cutter Chris Sale.
Yep. Maybe he won't cut up the Red Sox uniforms because they're uncomfortable.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for, the All-Star game. There's a lot to look forward to, Johnny boy, and we got football starting in about a month
Maybe
from
like
now.
a week or two.
We got training camp reporting, and we're going to Giants training camp on the 29th, I believe, right?
I believe that's the plan.
We're gonna go to Giants training camp on the 29th. Come by and see the JMB podcast at the Giants training camp. We will be live there, so come by and say hi. We'll take a picture with you and all that. So we're gonna go to Giants training camp, and then, John, we have a special announcement to make. We are going to, on August 6th,
Seattle, Washington.
we are going to Seattle on August 6th. We're going to be seeing the Yankees against the Mariners in Seattle.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun time, man. It's going to be a fun time, and maybe we'll even try to do a show out there.
Yes. Especially with our good friend Douglas.
With our good friend Douglas, which is sponsored by, this show is sponsored by our good friends at Saravo Broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
But John, about this, I don't understand something. I didn't think Darnold was going to be a bad fit for the Panthers. Why are they not bringing him back? Why are they not going to play him next year?
I believe it's going to be a competition between him and Mayfield.
Oh, so they brought Mayfield in just in case Darnold doesn't work out.
Yeah, but I think you have to give Mayfield the first shot to be the starter.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree. I think Darnold. Darnold's a good quarterback, but I think Mayfield is the better one. I think he, has got grit to him. But we'll see what happens. The Panthers are an up and coming team. They had some up and downs here and there, but listen, the quarterback is the most important part of the game, along with your defense. And the quarterback, offensive line, and defensive line are the most important parts of the game. But everybody looks at the quarterback as the guy who's in charge. Now, you have to have a good quarterback in order to win games. Without the quarterback, you're not getting anywhere. That's why it's important you get a good quarterback when you scout players in the NFL draft and, look for a trade. It's important to have a good quarterback. And look, the Chiefs the Chiefs have just got a gold prize getting Patrick Mahomes. The Bills got a prize getting Josh Allen. The Rams got
they got Goff originally.
I have a brain fart. Who's the quarterback?
They traded him for Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. I had a brain fart for a second. Matthew Stafford has put on a show with the Rams.
Maybe he had to just get out,
And what does that show you? That the quarterback means a lot to NFL teams. Now, the question, John, is going to be our New York Giants.
Yeah.
Will Daniel Jones be the quarterback the Giants have wanted?
Well,
that's a question mark.
Yep. Their backup is well known. Mr. Tyrod Taylor that's starting to launch his job in multiple places to up and coming rookie.
Absolutely. Now, I want to, Tyrod Taylor's a guy who I like when he was with Buffalo. I thought he had a good. I thought he played very well with them. I think if Jones doesn't work out, give this guy a chance.
Yep. Did he play with Cleveland too before?
He might have, yeah. He was the quarterback before Allen on the Bills, and he might have played with the Browns, the Browns too. But Giants still. I mean, listen, we had a good draft, but we still got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Not even close. I mean, there's still a lot. We haven't even seen the head coach perform yet. We haven't even seen We haven't even seen the general manager in game. During the season yet. So we got to take this game by game and see how it works.
Yep.
I still think the Giants could win 9 to 10 games this year. I really think they could win 9 to 10 games. But that's if they play good.
Well, I have a little another trivia for you, Brandon. Tyrod Taylor is a one-time Super Bowl champion. Who did he win it with?
Tyrod Taylor.
Well, looking it up.
He won a Super Bowl? The Patriots?
Nope, I'll give you in. He was a backup and barely saw any action with that team. It is an AFC team.
Chiefs?
Nope.
49ers?
What?
49ers? I'm sorry, that's NFC. My bad. The Raiders?
Nope. They haven't won a Super Bowl recently.
I don't know, John. Tell me the answer.
The 2012 Baltimore Ravens.
I never even thought Tyrod Taylor was in the league that long.
He got, drafted in the 6th round in 2011 out of Virginia Tech.
But listen, I hope he gets time.
Yep.
But we are about a month away. When's the first preseason game? Is it August 8th, I believe?
I don't even know.
Let's take a look. Let's look at our good friend ESPN Sports Center calendar.
Or even the Score Mobile. August 4th, Jaguars against the Raiders in the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, okay. So the Hall of Fame game is
August 4th at 8 p.m.
August 4th. And then the first preseason game is the Giants at the Patriots on August 11th.
Si, senor.
Okay. That's going to be cool. And then we got opening night, which is against the Bills and the Rams.
Yep.
On September 8th.
Yep. And then
what a matchup to start the season. The Bills against the defending champs.
Yep. I kind of like they eliminated the Monday night doubleheader to open the season.
NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad move.
You remember they used to do every opening weekend a Monday night game?
Yeah.
I believe now they replace it with a Week 18 Monday nighter.
Mm-hmm.
But that Monday night, that first game should be interesting. You have Russell Wilson returning to Seattle.
You do.
I've always been more of a fan of the Sunday night football games, though. Which this year is Tampa and Dallas to open the season.
Yeah, I mean, the schedule is pretty good this year, I think. I think they made a good schedule. I think, I think the Giants could win games. I think the Jets could win games. So
we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to week 1. You have Baker facing the Browns.
Oh, Cleveland against the Panthers.
In Carolina at 1 p.m., which will be on CBS.
It's going to be a good game, Johnny.
And they come to MetLife to play the Giants.
Nice. Good stuff, buddy.
Yep.
NFL, baby, almost there.
Yep. Actually,
and college football, almost there.
Week 2, you actually have 2 Monday night games. The Titans and the Bills and the Vikings against the Eagles.
Okay.
But one's on ESPN, the other's on ABC.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Should be a very interesting first couple of weeks.
It's going to be a fun NFL season, Johnny.
Yes, and we're not even starting it yet.
And we will see Tom Brady again return to the
Yes.
Bucs.
Unfortunately. Dashing all the hopes of all the NFL fans that their team could actually win a Super Bowl because he's back.
100%. 100%, man. But listen, not everybody likes to be in retirement. Some people like to just keep playing and having a good time.
Don't be surprised if Gronk eventually comes out of it again.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all. That he's going to come back. I think once he sees Brady win some games this season, he's going to want to come back and play with him.
I don't think Brady, since Gronk came in the league, has played a season without him.
I don't think he has. I think you're right.
Actually, didn't he retire for a year?
He did, and then he came back.
Yeah. But that, of course, is all after Brady had that terrible knee injury.
Yeah.
I believe besides his Deflategate suspension, he has not missed a game. And you know that's hard for an old man like Tom.
Absolutely.
Crazy. He's 44 right now, going to be 45 on August 3rd.
He's going to play till he's like 55.
Yep. Happy early birthday, Tom. Very early.
Yep. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to take a question from a fan. All right, we're back here in the JB podcast, which is brought to you by our good friends at Serravo Broadcasting. So let's get to a question. This question comes from Kyle. Here's the question. It seems after the NBA draft, a majority of Knicks fans were left with a lot of disappointment and a lot of questions about the future of the Knicks. What is your opinion on how the draft went, and what can the Knicks do to get back on track to make a solid run in the playoffs? Well, listen, I think they did the right thing by getting Brunson. I think Brunson was a smart move for them. I also think signing Mitchell Robinson was smart too. You gotta have height. You gotta have guys that could defend the rim. You gotta have guys that could, protect the rim when you need to. So I think the Brunson and Robinson signings were a good move. But it's going to take time to develop. It's going to take time to work the chemistry between with all the players on the team. But in terms of the NBA draft, no, we didn't do a good job in the NBA draft at all. It was kind of a waste. I mean, listen. The Knicks fans were hoping for something, but it really didn't turn out to be anything, pretty much. But
real stinker there.
It really was. I mean, they did absolutely nothing in that NBA draft.
As we saw since we were there.
The only thing they did good was trade. Listen, the guy they got, I don't think I'm not trying to be a negative guy, but I don't think he would have got anywhere with the team anyway. I mean, I don't even know if he would have played with the team. They probably would have given him a 2-year contract. But he wasn't a guy that I thought they should have got. I think the Knicks should have signed like a guy like Johnny Davis or a guy like Benedict Mathurin from Arizona. I thought he would have been really good. But, once again, the Knicks screwed up and, didn't go after the right guys.
Classic Knicks.
Yeah, of course, the Knicks, couldn't get they wanted to trade for the 4th pick, but they didn't work. They were going to try and trade for that 4th pick, but it didn't work out. Didn't work out, Johnny boy.
Yep. And they missed Johnny Davis by what, 1 pick?
By 1 pick. He was the guy that the Knicks could have got.
Yep. You would have thought, like we mentioned in our recap, that he would went top how much you saw him hyped up.
Yeah, I mean, the guy had a couple commercials, and he was already ready to be promoted. I mean, listen, he must, this guy was scouted very well by members of the organization.
Hmm.
So, listen, I think he'll be a good player. I really do.
Yep. I do like their Brunson signing.
The Brunson
Obviously,
signing was
he's a
fantastic.
Villanova guy.
Yes, he's a local guy. He went to Villanova,
You
and
have
his dad's the assistant coach, was even better.
You have the great resume already playing for Jay Wright at Nova.
Absolutely.
He was on both title teams in 16 and 18.
That's right.
Those were the wildest. That first one against UNC probably was the wildest game I've seen. I haven't been watching college basketball that long.
Yeah, I mean, college basketball, is a great thing. I actually started watching it a few years ago. I haven't really watched it throughout those years when Jay Wright when they won the championships back in 2016 and stuff. But that was a dynasty. Those were good teams.
What do you think with the recent college basketball championships? Is that Villanova over UNC, Chris Jenkins at the buzzer, the best championship game in the last maybe like 10 years?
Yeah, I would say so.
And you have the great announcer Jim Nance on the call.
Oh, I love Jim Nance. He's a god. I mean, he's really good.
I believe he grew up in Marlboro.
He went to Marlboro High School.
Yep. Isn't that just crazy?
Crazy how I went to the same high school as Jim Nance.
Yep. We're going to be hearing his wonderful voice for something besides golf in a couple of months.
That's right. Football, baby.
Hopefully get a couple good games to call that we can watch.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
I hate
But
this whole thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just the way it is,
Yep, unless it's a game in your market at that time, I think you should be able to watch the big game of that day.
You're 100% right, John. No, there's no question. You should be able to watch every game you want to watch
without paying for Red Zone.
Yeah, but the streaming services has just exploded in these day and ages. You know how long it took me to try to put on the Yankee game the other day on Prime?
How long?
It took me like 15 minutes just to get it. See, I understand the concept of it, but you shouldn't not put it on regular local television too. I mean, some people like to watch it on local television also.
Yeah, like I don't want to watch a game on my computer, my phone.
That's the thing. You want to just be able to turn on your TV and go to the S Network and put on the game or SNY for a Met game.
That's why I hate the whole thing with like Apple TV.
It really has gotten ridiculous. Now, listen, I understand if they do that, but you don't have to do that instead of putting it on regular local TV. Do that plus the streaming. You don't have to take away the game from our local networks.
Yep, or you have to go put it on your radio in the car.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't mind listening to the radio, but I love listening to Sterling and Susan. But if you're home and the Yankee game and you want to turn on the Yankee game, you shouldn't have to turn on Prime to watch it. You should be able to turn on the Yes Network or whatever channel it's on and just put it on. You shouldn't have to turn on your Fire Stick, go to Prime, log into your Prime account, and put it on. No, it really should be local television and the streaming. I agree. You're 100% right, John.
Especially tonight, you get it on ESPN. So
that's fine. I mean, listen, ESPN. Listen, games on ESPN are fine as long as you don't have to log in or pay a subscription for anything.
Yep, I miss Matty V on Sunday Night Baseball.
Hello, Joe. Hours to go before the deadline. Jaime's just been traded for a third time.
I hear the Rangers are still waiting on Jurickson Profar.
Yeah?
Did you see his very scary collision the other night?
No, I did not.
He took a knee to head from C.J. Abrams. He could barely walk off the field.
Wow. I got to look into that, Johnny boy. But Keith Hernandez, John Giordano, thank you for joining the show. It was a great show we had today. Oh, well, thank you. Congratulations on your retirement, man. But on that note, thank you for tuning into the JMV podcast with John Giordano. I am Brandon Schwartz. Thank you for tuning into the JMV podcast, which has been brought to you by our good friends at Saravo Broadcasting. Have a great week, everybody, and enjoy the weather. Have a good one.